Well, joining us on the Coach's Corner is Bill Mannino, the head coach for men's and women's golf. Bill, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Brian.
All right, let's be up front, first of all. He has the best assistant coach, or maybe the best looking assistant coach, in myself as a volunteer assistant coach. So we know each other, so we're not going to hide that. But I just want to be up front. So thanks for joining.
Best in the country.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I like to hear. Bill, previously you spent 3 years at Temple, a little over a decade at Hollins University as the women's golf coach and doing some administrative work. You left for a short period of time. What sucked you back into coaching?
Love coaching. Love the kids. Love being out on the golf course, on the range with them. Love going to tournaments and competing. Just love seeing them grow as a person in the 4 years that I get to work with them.
I also have to ask you, when you came to Emory and Henry, you inherited something that still needed a little bit of like cohesion. There had been some turnover at the head coach's position. I had stayed as an assistant coach, although I don't get to spend nearly as much time as I would like with the team. What did you have to do kind of with the team to show them that, hey, I'm here, I'm invested in that this is going to be the stability that the program needs?
Yeah, I kind of remember the moment that it happened. It happened about 2 months, almost 2 months into the fall, my first year. And I could tell the kids weren't sure if I was going to stay. They felt like we've had 2 coaches leave us within the last 2 years. And I could just see that there was some apprehension on their part. So one day after practice, we came together as a group, and I told them all, I said, I'm not going anywhere. And I think just that sentence kind of gave everybody some added security and some buy-in, and your support as well. Just supporting me and putting our visions together to see what's good for the program has been helpful as well.
Well, I mean, your spirit is infectious, and you and I joke a lot. And as the self-appointed head pro of the Lynch Links golf course, because of my regular play and love for the golf course, I have to be honest with you, my match is almost met by you because you love the Emory and Henry golf course that we have on our campus. What's the love all about, and how beneficial is it for the teams to have that on our campus?
The love is very deep. It's one of the first things you see when you drive into the campus. It's so unique for a Division III team to have a golf course on campus. I think there might be a handful in the country. And, Ronnie does a heck of a job as a one-person crew to make those greens as good as they are. And sometimes the fairways are looking as pure as could be. And it's just, I don't know, it's our playground on our campus. So for somebody that loves the game and to have our kids have that right in their backyard, right in the backyard of their dorm is absolutely amazing.
And we use the course. We use it for a lot of practices. First of all, it's great because the student athletes can be close to campus. Although Glen Roque, our other home course, is just up the road, Lynch Links is right there. So if we need to have a quick practice, we can have that. It's also home, though, to some notorious practices. All right, so be honest. You do get some joy out of creating some of those devilish challenges on the course that you ask the team to tackle.
I do. I definitely get some joy, but those practices that you're referring to, some days I'll set up some really difficult shots on say on the first hole, we'll go under a tree and they'll have like a 30-yard pitch to the green. And I do it because I see us end up in those places during competition. And I want us to be able to make practice so hard that when you are in competition, you're prepared and you've never not seen a shot that you want to play. So part of me does get a little bit of enjoyment of seeing them struggle, but really I'm trying to prepare them for competition so that they're equipped.
Yeah, some of my favorite members from practices, though, have been those. And it's also because there might be a limited number of putts that they all have to make or something like that. And to watch them root each other on is always fun to see that the competitive juice is going, almost like they might be going against us and us trying to trick them up. So I always like to see them succeed in those situations.
Yeah, I think they like it deep down.
Well, obviously, golf is one of those lifetime games. That's why I love it. It's probably one of the reasons that you love it. One of the big myths that people across campus, our colleagues, might have is that you and I get to play a lot of golf, which is not true. We might play less golf than a lot of our other colleagues that just play recreationally, but we do occasionally get a chance to go out and play. You're a competitive guy. I'm a competitive guy. How much do you hate losing to the kids?
Oh, I can't stand it. And they know it. They know it. So it's fun when I do get out there to play with them. They want to beat me. I want to beat them. And that's one of the things that I'm trying to instill in each player is how to be so competitive and to bring that to your events with you.
Yeah, and there are some trash talkers on our team that really get joy in everything they do. So that's why I can continue to hit the Lynch links to try to fine tune the game, because I may not be able to beat them at Glen Roki yet, but I want to be able to drill them every time we end up at Lynch links. Well, speaking about Glen Roki, I kind of think it's our kind of secret weapon in recruiting, because Glen Roki is, of course, our home course in Abingdon. I played a lot of great courses in my time, Bill. And I will tell you, I think Glen Roki's right up there with some of my favorites that I've ever played. How special of a place is Glen Roki, and it's just such a great place for Emory Henry golf.
Absolutely. I'll argue that in the ODAC, we might have the best facilities within our conference. Glen Roki is a hidden gem, always in great condition. They treat us like members out there. They're so proud that we call them home. And, Ben and Oogie and all the staff there are so good to us. I can't tell you how good they are to us. So for us to have that in our pocket, you're right. It is absolutely a recruiting tool. It's my favorite part of the recruiting process is when we get to go to Glen Roki and tour the golf course and the clubhouse and show them this is where you get to practice every day. And I couldn't ask for anything better.
I love watching visiting teams try to come in there too. I mean, I've played Glen Roki now for almost 20 years, and there are still putts that I stand there and look at it and I'm like, no idea what happens here. That place is just so challenging.
Yes. And, I've heard people say, if you can putt Glen Roki's greens, you can putt any greens. And it's true. They're fast. They're tricky. You could have a 20-foot break on some holes. You can, if you get a little too frisky, you can knock a ball off the green. So being able to have that in your repertoire, to be able to putt challenging greens like that is huge.
Bill, you've left your mark in one thing in particular that really stands out to me, and that's the creation of the blue and gold intersquad meet that we have. Can you tell folks about that event and what makes it so special?
Sure. A few years ago, we had a really large roster, and not everybody got to travel. So the genesis of the event was to just have a competition where everybody on the men's and women's side could compete. So we started this blue and gold event, and it's really grown over the years. I think the first year we might have had, say, 40 people between players, parents, and grandparents, and boyfriends and girlfriends come and attend. And I believe last year we doubled that.
There's a lot of people out there.
Yeah, and it's awesome. It gives the bragging rights between the blue and gold teams. We have a plaque in my office. We have the winners up for each year, and I know the kids love it because their parents get to come. They get to interact with them. It's kind of a day off from tournament golf and just kind of having a little bit like a friendly competition. So I love the day. I know you love the day. You take a lot of footage. You get some great photos that day that we probably couldn't get in a tournament setting. So we're hoping to grow that into something really special. And I think it's on the right track.
I love that. What I love about the event, Bill, is that it gets our families together. You know, a lot of the players' families don't get a chance to meet each other because some of them don't get a chance to come to many of our tournaments. And it's fun to watch them come and meet other parents and then form their own friendships out of that.
Right. And something happened organically this year. Right before the event, I decided to recognize our two seniors, Luke and Ashley. And in golf, you don't have senior day. You don't go to a tournament and they recognize everybody after 9 holes or something like that. So we were able to recognize our seniors in front of their peers and their parents. And it was just a special twist that just happened organically.
It was also cool that we had a few of our recent graduates, now that the golf program just came back a few years ago, those folks are already buying in and came back and actually watched that event and came out and cheered on their former teammates. So that was an organically cool thing that happened as well. We're a spring sport. So, I started Coach's Corner out with the spring sports in particular, and I have to ask you a little bit about the COVID situation. Obviously, it was disappointing. Can you just share your thoughts about, the loss of the end of the season?
Yeah, I agree. Totally disappointing. We played one event at Lynchburg, men and women. The women played pretty well on a tough golf course. I don't think the men played as well as they would have liked. So kind of a sour taste to have the season end right after that. But everyone's going through it. But we were looking forward to hosting an event in Pinehurst. We were headed to Virginia Beach for the Marlin Invitational and then back to Wintergreen for ODAX. So we had some pretty cool tournaments coming up, and we just, what am I going to say? We just couldn't play them.
What I hear out of that is I hear you owe me a beach trip. That's what I hear out of this.
Yeah, we'll definitely get back there.
Yeah, you've already brought some really cool experiences. The year before we went to Myrtle Beach and competed down there and had a really good time. So I'm always excited about what comes up, especially in that spring schedule. But I guess just in general, talk about 2020, 21, the season's coming up. We've got some new faces coming in, some growth on the women's team side. Just talk about your excitement to get back out there with the kids and start competing again.
I can't wait. I can't wait till August. Like you said, we've got 4 freshmen coming in on the women's side, and they're all really good players. So adding them to Chandler, we now have a full team, which is awesome. And Chandler is going to be the perfect den mother, mama bear, whatever you want to call it. She's gonna take them under her wing and show her what it's like to be a WASP golfer and how to represent herself, because she's just terrific. She's terrific in the classroom, outside the classroom, on the course. So I think they'll have some good leadership. On the men's side, we've got Sam Van Dyne coming in from Whitwell, and he's going to be a real good player for us. He's practicing every day and in the New River Valley, and just so excited. Like, he is counting down the seconds to get. So it's exciting on both sides because we have a real solid core on the men's side, a lot of experience, a lot of seniors. So I'm excited to be able to sprinkle in a good freshman, have everybody returning. Started to see some guys emerge last year, like Isfander really turned it on. Started to see a side of his game that he can be one of the better players in the conference.
Yeah.
And I can share a story, and I don't think you would mind it. I hope not. But we were on the 10th hole at Boonesboro Country Club during the Lynchburg event, and he was in the final group, the number 1 man position that day, and his approach onto the green, and we're walking, and he goes, "Hey, coach, I can beat these guys. I can play with these guys." And I just turned to him. I said, "What do you think I've been trying to tell you for a year now?" And I could just see the confidence starting to come through, and and there's other guys on the team that are emerging and putting in the work. And I think we're going to be all right.
I think that was the hardest part about the COVID situation, Bill, is I think you would agree that the men's team was getting ready to jump some teams and really surprise some folks at the conference tournament. I think that we'd seen a lot of really good signs kind of point in a good direction. And, you know, I'm really going to miss that we didn't get to see how that worked out.
Me too. We got a real good group. And it's going to be nice to see what they can do in the fall. I know they're all practicing hard right now. Luckily, golf is one thing that you can do during this pandemic. So I know the guys and the girls are playing and wanting to get back in the fall. I'm getting so many texts, Coach, are we going to have a season in the fall? And I can't wait to be able to give them real good concrete answers about where we're headed.
I believe we'll be there, and I believe that we're going to surprise some people in 2020 and 21. And I'm looking forward to getting back on the golf course. I need to sharpen up here in the next couple of months to make sure I can defend my Lynch Lynx crown. But Bill, I appreciate you spending a few moments with us on Coach's Corner.
Thanks, Brent. Thanks for all that you do for our department and especially our golf teams.
I'm still not going to give you any shots. It's okay. So thanks, Bill.
All right. See you.